Chris from the Parx-e Show of episode 4. The show came along really quickly, and I got 2 great interviews lined up for you today. First of all, I got my very talented friend and gorgeous talented friend, Ella Cannon. She was on the first episode. She kindly gave her time again today to chat with us today, which is awesome. And we got writer Doctrin, who's been doing some amazing stuff and now is going to America next week. So she kindly but when you see this, she'll be already on the way. So she kindly gave it her time to do the interview today. And we also do a review of Beth Hart's amazing album, Better Than Home. It's going to be a great show, so sit back and enjoy. Chris Park from the Parx-e Show here. I'm with the gorgeous Ella Cannon, one of the most gorgeous girls I interviewed on my website and show. She's kindly agreed up to give her time today. She's awesome, and we're going to chat about what she's been up to recently here in a very cloudy Richmond, but it's going to be fun. So you've done a lot of good work recently. Women's Weekly.
Yeah, Women's Weekly did a great little write-up on me and 2 other Aussie actresses over in LA for pilot season, and it was cool to be a part of it. It was to kind of highlight the reality of being an actor in in such a full-on industry out there when you're not kind of yet at the top. And it was nice to be able to give people a glimpse into what we put ourselves through over there. It was cool. So they were filmed. We did the shoots in Beverly Hills and up in the Hollywood sign. So yeah, we did the photo shoot up there with Michelle Holden, who's a great photographer. She does a lot of celebrities, and it was really, really cool to work with her. And some great makeup artists, Kimberly Bragaloni. She's incredible. I love her to death. And Brittany, a hairstylist. Yeah, a bunch of really cool people, which I've stayed in touch with, which is nice.
That's cool. And you've done a lot of very racy and hot shoots recently, so especially the one from the Mexican fella. How did they come about?
He's quite a well-known photographer, and he basically travelled around the world recently and approached a bunch of models in every different state of every country he went to and did photo shoots with them. And that was great for me because unfortunately, social media has become a really big contributor into your success in this industry now. And doing that photo shoot with him helped raise my profile quite significantly. So I'm quite happy I did it, and I'll do what it takes within means. There was just enough skin to be shown for it to be okay.
But nothing that's gonna go, hang on.
Yeah.
let's take this off Facebook.
Is she an actor or is she in the adult industry? We don't know.
Yeah. So, and you've got 2 cool gigs, and you've got some cool gigs coming up.
Yeah, I've got a gig on Winners and Losers coming up, and a gig on Footballer Wants a Wife, which is a mini-series that's very, very funny. It's going to be coming out around grand final time, and yeah, you guys will love it. It's a lot of fun.
So how often do audition come up, and how do they come up? Is it just many ways, or?
It's very different depending on what country I'm in. In Australia, it depends. I've been really lucky this last month. I've had, quite a few auditions, but generally speaking, it can be 1 a month here, whereas in LA, it can be 2 or 3 a day. And essentially what happens is I get the brief sent through by my agent or management team, depending on where it's coming from, and I will confirm it, and I'll go into the room and do it, and then I let it go. And if I get it, I get it, and if I don't, I don't.
So is it a lot different filming an interview, filming like an audition compared to doing it face-to-face with the casting agent?
Yeah, it is. I feel for me that there's definitely some charm lost in self-tapes. I feel like I have more success in the room. But that said, self-tapes are good too because you can do as many takes as you like to get it right, but that can be bad as well because you can start to overthink it, whereas in the room it's kind of like you just got to get it done.
You've got one take and that's
yeah, and they really get the essence of who you are in meeting you. And yeah, but I mean, look, I'll take an audition in any form.
And you're in the process of getting your visa. How hard is that thing to get? How hard is that to get?
It's a process. Yeah, it's not something I'll go too far into detail with you because it's not that fun to discuss, but it's been a really big process and it's taken me a really long time to get to the point where I'm able to even consider applying. So I fully appreciate this process, and I will fully appreciate it once it's in my hands. It's going to be a dream come true.
So that means that you'll be able to work in America for a lot longer and give it a real good crack. And
yeah, that's it. That means that the papers will no longer be a contributing factor in why I may not get a role, you know? So
yeah, and also customs might be a pain in the ass when you're going through this. Yeah, but with love, it's all good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you're doing so you're getting a lot of photo shoots and stuff, so how often do they come up, and do you decide yeah or nay if you're going to do it?
They're coming up a lot at the moment. It's kind of just started really happening for me in the last month. I'm getting easily one a week at the moment, which is great and it's fun, but at the same time I don't want to blur the lines in that I am pursuing acting. I'm not pursuing modelling as such, but it has, like I said, helped raise my social following, so I appreciate that aspect of it, and I'll probably take some time off from it pretty soon, I think.
So how important to you as an actor is social media? Because for musicians it's the lifeblood, they need it. Is it different for you as an actor, or is it also as important?
It is. It hasn't really been important up until now, or recent times. It is getting to the point now where if it's down to 2 people in an audition room, they'll go with the one who has more Instagram followers, because essentially by casting that person, they're pulling all those followers in as viewers, so they're more bankable, you know.
Gotcha.
So it's becoming more important and more vital to consider these things, which I don't like, to be honest, because I feel like it's becoming less and less about what you bring to the role. But yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? Times are changing.
Yeah, because it's not like the old days where basically they'd go for the best actor, but now it's all about.
That's it. I mean, back in the days, there's no bells and whistles. It was the performance and the story that carried a film, and it's changing. But you know, like that's not necessarily a bad thing either, and we can work with that. And I'm still getting some incredible opportunities come through, and I wouldn't change a thing at the same time.
That's cool. So have you got a sort of an idea what you want the rest of the year to be like for you, or is it more or less see what comes?
I think I have to be a bit see what comes, because if I plan my life, I'm setting myself up for disappointment, really, because there's just no way of telling what it's going to be, what the next role is going to be, or where it's going to be, or if it's going to be. There's just no way. So I mean, the way I kind of look at it is I have to be living in the moment and enjoying what I'm doing. If I'm not enjoying it, I change it. And I just have to go with the flow. And I think that sits pretty well with who I am as a person anyway. I like that. I hate predictability, and I get really depressed when I'm in a 9-to-5 job. So I think this is the right thing for me.
So what have you seen recently that's really inspired you as an actor?
I've been a bit bad lately. I haven't watched enough, but coming back on the plane, I watched the Imitation Game. I was a bit late to the game with that one, but it was really, really cool. Loved it. Benedict Cumberbatch was amazing, and Keira Knightley was great. I mean, they're all great. But I went to the premiere of Spy the other night. That was fun. It was a bit of a laugh. Jason Statham is a great comedic actor. I never would have picked that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love an Expendables, but we won't go there. But so, if you could put the ultimate lineup together in a movie, who would it be?
Oh, well, I would naturally have to star in this movie.
Of course, you have to be in it.
It would probably have to be. Can I bring people back from the dead?
Sure, why not?
I'll have a 1950s Marlon Brando, for sure. Maybe a bit of Meryl Streep, Javier Bardem. Maybe a little kiss scene with Ryan Gosling, or
Why not?
Jared Leto. Let's just put them all in. Let's put them all in. Yeah.
So yeah, that is it. We've chatted to the gorgeous Helen Cunningham. I really do appreciate her time. She's always amazing. She's always been good to me, and I love having her on the show. And we know it's my one last one to interview in Australia, because you never know, she might get that big role in America, and she'll make it. And
He's hoping.
And I know she will. So I really do thank your time, and I really do appreciate it. And you rock. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Cool. I need to change. I just need to change. G'day, this is Chris from the Parx-e Show here. I'm with Doctrin, an exciting new artist from Melbourne, Australia, who's going to America to give it a go, and she kindly gave up time to have a chat with me today. So, you have got your stuff on Viva, which is one of the premier music websites and YouTube channels. How'd that all come about?
Well, I've been working with a great team in Melbourne called Ditto Music. Theda and Sarah there have been kind enough to help me set all of that up. It was really nice to actually hand over that kind of thing and have somebody else take care of it, because it lets me focus on doing what I do, which is music. So it's been a really great help, and obviously being on Vivo is amazing, really great exposure. So yeah, thanks to Ditto Music for that one.
So how does it feel to have your stuff premiered on Tone Deaf, which is like a pretty big Australian music website?
Yeah, also another Ditto, they pulled that for me, which is great. I really like Tone Deaf, and they cover a really broad spectrum of music. They don't just cover one genre, which is good. So it was really great to be a part of that and be on a really good website that I look at every day anyway. Like, you know, it's something that you use as a music lover, that you check out, and it's cool to be on there.
So what was the inspiration behind the video clip for your new song?
I'd actually been watching a lot of Charmed.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was on a streaming website, and I was going through some, old phases when I was a young kid, and yeah, I watched a lot of Charmed, and I watched The Craft and that kind of thing. So the idea just came out of that, in terms of reviving some kind of witchcraft and remembering when we were kids, hanging out with my girlfriends, pretending that we were in the movie, and yeah, so it seemed cool. And the girls that are in the video are actually my best friends, so it was kind of real in a way, reliving a childhood dream.
So how did the recording process go for the song? Was it different to other stuff you've done in the past, or? Yeah,
very different, because I did most of it myself. I'd been in a band in the past, and this time was just me. So yeah, it was different, kind of being responsible for everything, and then obviously writing everything on my own, and recording, playing a lot of instruments. I had my friend David Leguencho played drums, and Gordon Holland from a band called the Naysayers in Melbourne, he played guitar. So yeah, it was really different, but yeah, eye-opening just for me to know that I can tackle a whole band's worth of instruments and sounds, and yeah, it was a good experience. I enjoyed it a lot.
So you had one of the premier masterers do the mastering. How'd that come about?
Yeah, we took it to, first of all, went to Howie Weinberg in LA, which is awesome. But we ended up going with another session that we did in New York, which was with Sterling Sound.
Nice.
So yeah, we ended up using that mastering, and yeah, everything across the board was perfect. It was just a matter of finding the right kind of sound and being happy with it. So yeah, we went back and forth a little, but got there in the end.
Why the decision to go from overseas mastering to produce in Australia?
Yeah, good question. I think mainly what attracted me was the catalogue of music that person I'd worked with. I found that I identified with those sounds a lot, and putting it in their hands just made sense for me to be able to get what I wanted out of my music.
So you're going to America, so what do you hope to get out of that? Do you have you got any goals or any stuff planned for when you get there, or?
Yeah, sure. The first goal is probably find somewhere to live. So that's always the hardest part. I've got somewhere for the first month or so, but then just kind of be house hunting and catching up with friends, and yeah, just trying to figure it all out. But more or less, it's just going to be a bit of fun and kind of hang out and spend summer there. I'm kind of sick of winter at the moment, so just need some sun. Yeah.
So do you have any idea what part of LA you want to live in, or is it?
Yeah, so my friends live in Echo Park and Silver Lake, Studio City, so probably either one of those areas. Yeah, I'm not really fussed, because I'm going to be everywhere and anywhere at the same time. So
that's cool.
Yeah, hopefully go on tour as well at some point. So
So what venue would you most like to play in LA when you get there?
Where would I most like to play?
In LA, what venue would you most like to play at?
Hollywood Bowl, yeah.
Nice.
One day, work towards that.
So what have you been listening to recently that's inspired you as an artist?
A lot of hip hop, Taylor Swift. Generally my go-tos are like Deftones, Crosses, Placebo, yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, recently a lot of hip hop, so big Kendrick Lamar binge, bit of ASAP, yeah, just kind of whatever comes my way as well. Anything on Spotify, which is really cool because it throws new things at me. James Bay as well, it's been really good, and Hosier actually, because yeah, his whole record, kind of had that on repeat for a little while too.
So how does Spotify help you? Do you think it's a good tool? Do you think it's good at getting stuff out there, or do you think?
Yeah, I think as a listener, for sure. Like in that sense of, if you're asking what I've been listening to, the way Spotify throws new music at me or suggests and recommends music, I find that really great. Because I can find things that perhaps I didn't know that I wanted, and yeah, I've enjoyed that element of it. As a music maker, then yeah, I'm yet to see what it can do for me because I've only just released as an artist, but yeah, time will tell.
And what's your social media is a big thing, so how does that help you? Has that helped you as an artist gain your audience and fans? And do you know?
Well, I wouldn't call them fans, I would say supporters, you know, like friends and family and people that know me and spread the word about what I'm doing. So yeah, in that sense, it's like a good tool for them to help me put myself out there in that way. It's still very early days, so yeah.
Cool. So what do you hope that the next 6 months will do for Doctrin?
Do for Doctrin, I think probably record again and shoot another video for the second single that's coming out called Give Me a Love, which was recorded in the same session as Take Me. So I think that's probably my priority, is to shoot another video in the States and hopefully record an EP of some sort, maybe 5 or 6 tracks, and yeah, start to get ready for another release and do a tour up to New York and back.
Nice.
From LA, so yeah, definitely a lot of work to be done once I arrive, but yeah, a few drinks beforehand.
Cool. So I leave you with one last question, which I always typically leave with when I interview musicians. It always gets a varied response. If you could have anybody in a video clip, who would it be and why?
Yeah, I don't know. That's such a... I guess it depends on the video clip. I would definitely love to be in Taylor Swift's video clip, the most recent one, Bad Blood. It was pretty cool. Yeah, me.
Nice. Now that is it. Coolies. G'day, this is Chris from the Parx-e Show here. We're reviewing Better Than Home by Beth Hart, who to me is one of my favorite singer-songwriters ever. I love her music. I've got to see her play live. I've got to interview her, which was the last moment thing. I was like, yeah, I'm going to interview Beth Hart. I'm down with that. And I'm so stoked just to be able to interview her. I just think she's an amazing musician, an amazing songwriter, an American lyricist. And this album is great. People have said it's her best album, and they would be correct. There are just so many great songs in this album, from the opening track, Might As Well Smile, Tell Them to Hold On, Better Than Home, and one of my favorite songs, which is the bonus track on this album, Mama Is One of You, which is just so beautiful and powerful about her mom, and it's just her and the piano, and it just grabs you and draws you in, and I love it. I love Tell Hold On because it's just the use of the piano, the use of her vocals, and the use of the backing vocals that kind of just really draws you in, sinks you in with her power and passion. Better Than Home is sort of a beautifully, I think, it's just a beautiful song. I just love the way it's been constructed, the way the vocals work, and I love the use of the piano and the way the song has been written. Songs like Saint Teresa, which it's just classic Beth. There's a reason why Beth's been getting such acclaim recently, and it's really a long time coming. It really should be a lot sooner because she's just so good. She's just a great lyricist, great vocalist. She has a way with, telling what she tells in stories and songs, and you go, wow, that's amazing. And I'm a huge fan, and I just love good songwriting. I just love good lyrics. And I'm really stoked to be able to review this because I'm a huge Beth Hart fan. I figured I want to do reviews on my show, so I wanted to review Beth Hart's album as my first review because I love her music. I recommend you go get this album. If you love good songwriting, if you love good lyrics, and you love great vocals. And for me, it's amazing that I've got friends that, they listen to everything in this and they go, wow, this stuff's really good. And they want to keep listening because, And it's funny, one of my best friends was so stoked when I interviewed, he's like, play the interview, man. You want to hear it? And he was like, yeah, man, you can listen. And he's like, I was like, this is good. I'm just a really huge fan of Beth Hart, and I just think she's a great songwriter, a great lyricist. The production is perfect for this album. I love it. And I'm just a really huge fan. I'm sorry if I'm prattling on, but man, it's Beth Hart. You gotta get this album, man. It really rocks. Great songwriting, great lyrics. What is not to like? Great production. I'm a huge fan. Buy the album now because if you love good singer-songwriters, this is gonna be one of the best albums you'll hear all year. And I highly recommend it. Alright, that was the show. Next episode, we're gonna be at the Pop Boomerang 100 CD album launch, and it's all going to be about that, so we hope you enjoy, and we'll see you again next time.